My students are growing in their understanding of whole number operations, but because I'm working with several 4th and 5th grade students, I also need to focus on fractions, because I know fractions are essential for middle school and high school math. How can I best help kids learn fraction concepts?
All right, Mr. Flores keys into something that's really important here, and that is the emphasis on fractions. And he knows that fractions is important for everything that students are going to do in middle school and high school. So that's the focus of this module. We are going to talk about rational number content that should be embedded within intensive intervention. So what are we going to be talking about here in Module 7? We're going to talk about the rational number concepts that are important for students to know. Then we're going to talk about the rational number procedures that are important. And then finally, we'll look at what does it look like when a DBI is implemented with a focus on rational number content. So some of the activities that you'll be doing in this module, first in part 1, you'll be doing some activities where you're going to look at student work and think about how you could use different models of fractions to help those students correct some misgivings they might have about fractions. And then you're going to share some of your favorite tools that you use when teaching fractions. In part 2, you're going to look at solving different models or using different models to solve fraction computation problems. And then you're going to think about how all of this relates to word problem solving. And then in part 3, you're going to identify important components within an example intensive intervention lesson. And then you're going to make and share a video of your teaching so that you can share with your peers how well you're using explicit instruction and all of these other really important things within rational number content when it's embedded within intensive intervention. And what are all those important things? I already mentioned explicit instruction, but are you using multiple representations and concise language? Really important to use when we're thinking about helping students understand fraction concepts and decimal concepts. And then even when we switch to thinking about rational numbers coming from whole numbers, are we still helping students build fluency? Is problem-solving instruction embedded? And is there a motivational component within intensive intervention? Now, I hope that you've already read it, but if you haven't, I'd like you to check out this IES practice guide related to understanding fractions. And within this practice guide, they have recommendations based on research evidence of ways to, not exactly ways to provide fraction instruction, but important components of fraction instruction. And we are going to cover quite a few of these in this module. So by the end of this module, you'll be ready to do a the classroom application where you're going to think about how you can increase your modeling related to rational number concepts and your modeling related to rational number procedures. I'm really excited to get started with this module. Welcome to you. Let's go ahead and get started on Module 7.